Welcome to the Singapore Book Publishers Association's training program titled Introduction to Live Streaming. In this training program, we will learn about what live streaming is, how to prepare for a successful live stream, the difference between Zoom and StreamYard, and how to go live on these platforms. Our first section introduces the concept of live streaming and discusses the benefits of live streaming.
For the past 10 years when the internet is in place, so we can actually do this, and thanks to YouTube as well as Facebook, and we got all these free channels to help us to actually broadcast. So in the past, if you want to broadcast something, you have to got no choice, you have to go to MediaCorp, right? But right now you don't need to do that. You can do it on your own. So meaning you can have your own channel or your own TV stations that actually do all the marketings that you need. Okay, but you need to actually build your followers. You have to build your like. You need to build your fans, so that whenever you do a publish any video, people actually come in to watch. So that is very important. So you can see that a lot of marketeers, they invest a lot of money to actually increase their like and follower in their Facebook or YouTube. Yeah. So when it comes to Facebook, it's Facebook Live. Okay, and then you can actually plan. So I will cover that later on. Okay, so this approach is called the live streaming. That means you video down. So like right now, I can actually put this video, okay, live onto the screen. But most of the time when we actually do this Zoom, it's actually private. That's why we have the link. Okay, so we give all this a private. But if you make it into public, like putting this broadcast on Facebook or YouTube, it become a live streaming. That means it's live. You know, it's ongoing. Okay, so you have to actually it's very interactive. So I will touch on what are the benefits that you can actually enjoy. This is not from you, it's from another writer. Okay, so first and foremost, it's actually this live streaming is live, meaning like it's a real time. And then when you're doing it, when you're actually putting it on live, you actually can reach out to your real customer, people that are interested in your content. And because of that, it becomes very targeted and become very, very effective for you to actually promote your products. So they must like book before they follow on your Facebook, right? So when you do anything like that, they want to find out like what new books you're launching. So with that, right, you can engage them. You can get a pool of audience that actually straight away know what you are actually launching. Okay, I'm talking about book launch. Okay, so that is called user consumer content on your real time. So let's say, for example, today you're doing launch, that means you're doing it today, you know, so you have a specific time to actually launch this. The second features is like it's not really actually overcrowded. If you talk about like last year, okay, when the COVID just started, it was not very crowded. So there is some marketer, they just went on live. They didn't prepare anything, and then they just start to sell fish, sell prawns, and then they got very good response. So this is how it started. So right now it's still not very crowded. If you're talking about publishing industry, we are not very crowded yet. Yeah, but of course there is many other marketers that use this platform to sell their products. Yeah, okay, so it's still not as crowded, and it's very, very targeted, and it actually really reach out to your audience. So like I say, when you actually want to do a live stream, you need to advertise. You need to actually reach out to those audience, you know, through Facebook or through YouTube, to reach out to those audience that they will find that is actually your target audience to come and watch your show. Yeah. Okay, and it's cheap because, okay, in the past, if you can recall, when you do a book launch, you need to actually book a venue. You know, you need to do invitation. You need to have a few handyman, you know, around to help you to organize, put them on a chair, you know, display and things like that. So that is actually quite a lot of cost involved. But right now, it's actually a lot cheaper because all you need is like a camera, you know, in front of a camera, you can talk about your books already. And, you know, your audience can actually, in fact, interact with you as well. So it's a lot cheaper, and Facebook and YouTube channels are free too, unless, of course, if you want to advertise advertise, it actually costs you some budgets, but it's still cheaper than what you think is like organizing an event, or what you think like in the past, if you want to TV channel 8 or channel 5 to give you a time slot to promote your book. That's not possible at all. It's going to be very expensive. Yeah, but right now it's actually a lot more affordable, and it's also take a much lesser time to produce. So in the past, if you really want to produce a TVC, you know, the production how and all that, it costs you like 20,000, 30,000 just for a 30 seconds TVC. But right now, if we do it, you know, live streaming, it's like record live. So you don't, you actually got no chance to edit at all. So that's why preparation later on will come to that. It's very important. Okay, so for us, it's like what I would recommend is like maybe for 30 minutes to 45 minutes of like live streaming is actually quite good enough for book launch. Yeah, not too long. Okay, because the attention span is also not so long. So that means for that like 30 minutes or 15 minutes is done and it's over. But the preparation is important. Yeah. Okay, and the real-time engagement meanings is you can see that for all this live streaming, what they wanted is sales. For example, they want people to buy, they want to promote online. So they will talk to them, okay, how good, you know, is my this book and things like that. Okay, for today, if you buy, you can get my autograph, you know, I'm going to autograph for you, especially only for today. You know, you can actually do a lot of promotion, you know, during this real-time engagement, so that you can straight away instantly actually see the sales impact, whether you know how your audience react to your books. So it's quite good, and especially when they have a Q&A session. Okay, they usually have a chat column whereby they can ask a question, or they can congratulate you, they can talk to you. Hey, how much is it lah? Do you actually provide free postage and things like that? You do experience this kind of question, you know, when it comes to real-time customers that really interested to buy from you. Or you can also offer like codes, you know, certain code for them to read out to you, and you can offer them a discount or something like that. So for this real-time engagement is it's very engaging lah, I must say. Yeah, it's very engaging, and especially if you can get some real influential or some VIP to come to the show, you know, to interact or to talk to you and discuss or review your book and share about their experience of your book. That is actually real time. So it's a lot more convinced, you know, than just doing a TVC. Yeah. Okay. So of course, the one of the best thing that you can use is after doing this video, you can propose the content again. I mean, reuse the content again. You can reuse it on YouTube. You can reuse it in any format that you like, or put it into your blog, or put it into your website and things like that. So that means it doesn't actually stop there. You can repost, you can reuse, and you know, you can keep using it. Yeah, so you can keep using it. So basically, these are all the benefits of this live streaming. And I felt it's really one of the best way to actually launch your book. Yeah. So with that, I have touched on the benefit.
Next, our second section will equip you with the knowledge required to successfully operate a live stream.
And share my slide.
Right?
Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Amir, and I'm from Muse Private Limited. And today I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to prepare for a live stream. So like Cecilia said, live stream is live. Everything is happening in real time. So any mess ups or you know, anything that happens there, people will see. So it's best that you better plan for it, because even though it is live, you still can prepare for it. So let me show you how. So these are the things that I have listed that you guys can prepare for a live stream. So first, I'll just briefly talk about live stream, the introduction, and then the outline of your live stream, picking your moderators, materials to show, your equipment, setting up your stream, and also scheduling your live stream. Okay, so like what Cecilia said, what is a live stream? The live stream is basically when you are broadcasting live to any social media platform. So don't get confused between Zoom or StreamYard, like she said earlier. So basically when you're live streaming, as long as you're going live, that's the action of going live. But what you're showing is another thing. Okay. So for later, we're gonna learn how to use StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard is the streaming software that we'll be using to stream to different social media platforms like Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so when you're planning to do a live stream, okay, and let's say you want to do a book launch, so I'd say first you gotta create an outline of your entire stream, your timeline. So just like how a video is done, for live stream, you also have to plan out the program. So you plan out the structure of your live stream so that you know the flow, and then you also can lay out where and when you want to show your materials or you want to promote your product. So, for example, in the live stream, you can have a countdown first, a countdown timer screen first. And then once the countdown is over, okay, it's time for your live stream to start. Then uh, you can introduce yourself and then you can show content. So when you show content, basically it's like you can either share an image or share a video on the screen. Uh, uh, it doesn't have to be like just videos. It can also be photos. It can be anything lah. If you're showing it on your camera, also can. That's the thing. Okay, then you can after that you can plan out that okay, now you're gonna talk about the book. Then maybe you have a video that's about the book, and then you can have a Q&A session with the audience. And then of course you will have to thank your sponsors and your viewers for watching lah. Okay, so here's the next thing. The next thing is when you're doing this, you still need a script. Even though it's live, you still need a script because you got to plan out what you want to say, because you might miss out the important things. Like maybe you want to sell something, maybe you have like an offer, but then you forgot about it, and then you'll feel like, yeah, I should have said this offer when I was live just now. Now I'm too late already, people leave already. Yeah, so you have a script, so you know that the points that you want to go through in life are spoken, even if it's not exactly like how it's written on the script, because it will sound so scripted, right? As long as you have the points there, you know what you want to say, you said it, done. Okay, so that's having a script is it's very important. Okay, so next, moderators. Okay, so in a live stream, right? Let's say you're doing it on Zoom or StreamYard. Either way, whatever live stream, you still need moderators. So what exactly are moderators? So let's say you're the host. You're the host of the live stream, but you can't be the one handling everything. Like you can't handle like, okay, I want to show a picture now, then you be the one showing the picture. Or if someone asks a question and then you as a host, you're presenting, you don't see the question, you miss the question. You have to have someone taking down, oh, okay, this is the question, later I'll ask the host to answer this question later on. Or and you can't, and because you are the one streaming, you can't see how your stream is going. Yeah. Okay, I have a question, but later I'll answer that. Okay. Just say. But yeah, so for your live stream, it will be smoothest if you have at least some moderators to take care of different roles, so that you as a host you can focus on your show, you can focus on your actual book launch, your live stream, you can focus on what you want to say. So you can have moderator A who will be aware of like spammers or bots in the live stream chat. That does happen. It does happen when there's people who come into the chat. Maybe they don't like you. They just want to sabotage you. They just type a lot of like mean words. So you need somebody to, okay, this guy, I'm gonna remove him from the chat, something like that. Okay. And then you also need this guy to make sure that your live stream is proof. You imagine you're hosting a live stream, it's going on for like half an hour, but then you realize everyone cannot hear you because you cannot see your stream. You can talk lah, but how you gonna know if your stream got sound or not? That's why you need this guy. You need this guy to check if your stream is going fine or lagging or whatever. Okay. So you have mod B. Okay, mod B, he can help you with sharing screen or media. So if you're sharing a PowerPoint slide on live stream or something, then this guy can be the guy that, the clicker, say next, 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 or give the host heads up on questions that questions from viewers that the host missed lah. Yeah. And then lastly, it will be mod C, who is in charge of the software, the streaming software itself. So in Jetsai, you asked how to show a split screen to show videos or images of the book on the live stream. So later on, you will learn how to do that in StreamYard. Okay, in StreamYard you can do that. Okay, so that's what mod C will be in charge of. He'll be in charge of the software. So this kind of thing where there's a split screen or whatever, he'll be in charge of that. Okay, so next, materials to show. So this is the next thing you got to prepare. Okay, let's say you already plan out your flow. Okay, you want to do this, do that, do this. You want to show this, show that. Okay, next you got to prepare what you want to show. So if you're gonna show something on your stream, make sure that it's already loaded, or make sure it's already downloaded, or it's there. Don't like in the stream, okay, wait, let me show you something on YouTube, and then you open up YouTube, you type the thing, you load up, then you wait. Okay, it doesn't feel professional, you see. So when you want to show something, make sure you have the video inside your computer already. Make sure that it's ready to play the moment you say, okay, let me show you this, and then bam, you show the video already. So that's why you have the moderators. The moderators are supposed to help you make the thing smooth, you know. Yeah. So you don't look paise. You say you show like this, then nothing happen. You just stuck there. Yeah. So make sure that when you have materials to show, you would know when it will come out, if you sound good, and if you fit the stream lah. And also, I would give a tip that if you're doing all this preparation, right, you can also do like a dry run first. A dry run is the best way to determine like more success on the actual live stream day, because you actually already tested it out, it works, and on the actual day nothing can go wrong, that kind of feel. Yeah. Okay, next we're going to be talking about equipment. So equipment, well, like Cecilia said, you don't need any fancy equipment. But of course lah, if you put more budget in your production, then your stream will look nicer lah. So for equipment, you will be using a computer. I advise for live streaming to use a computer or a laptop. Okay, not an iPad, because an iPad is not strong enough for live streaming actually. With the software and everything. Okay, so first you will need a webcam or a camera. Okay, a webcam like what I'm using here, or an actual camera. That one is a bit next level lah, but a webcam will be fine. Then you'll need ring light or natural light, and lastly you'll need a microphone like what I'm using, or another type of different microphone, or a headset with a microphone. See, there's a microphone on this headset, I just don't use it. Yeah. Okay, so now let me explain about camera placement and lighting. So if you are planning to do a live stream, okay, and you're planning to show your face, please do not point your webcam or your camera towards the light. So what I mean is towards the light is like, for example, in this picture, you can see that this guy, his window is behind him. So that's where the sun is coming from, right? So naturally, when the sun is behind him, his face will be like covered in shadows and it's very dark. So if you're planning to do a live stream, I would advise for you to turn the other way instead of letting the window behind you face your back. You face the window so that there's light on your face. Okay, it's a very common mistake that people do. They'll be wondering, my video is bright. Why I don't look bright? Why am I behind bright? Something like that. So this is called backlit lah. Basically, we don't want it to be backlit if you want to show you as a subject. So on the left side, you can see here, this is an example of when you're facing a window or you have good lighting. Okay, so you can find a nice background. So you don't have to be like this, where it's just a plain background, as long as the background is like neat or nice to you. Yeah. So for this example here, is actually just a normal wall. He's just he's just sitting in front of a wall with the window on his face. So that's why you see the lighting is nicer for this one. And if he needs more lighting to enhance, he can get yourself this ring light over here, something like this. Probably seen it before, right? In shops everywhere, a ring light. Yeah, so this can also like brighten up your face or light the place better. Okay, so let's say your house, you want to do live stream, but you got no time to like adjust. No time to adjust your house. Maybe your house is messy, your office is messy, but you want to be in the video. Well, the solution for that is to use something like a virtual background, which I'm using right now. So there's two ways to do this virtual background. Okay, in StreamYard, you can do it with a green screen. Later on, you'll learn how to do it. But best is for virtual background, I'd say you might need to get a green screen or you don't have to. So it really depends lah. So for example, if you don't if you have a green screen, right, what it does is that everything around you is keyed out, is very clean. You see there's no green or whatever, you don't see anything, right? But the moment I remove my green screen, you look like this. You see all the green, all that, you see all this. So you will this one you have to plan ahead if you want to go for like a very clean virtual background like this one, or just this is good enough for you, or you just want to show your room also can, as long as it's a very presentable area lah. Okay, then you can use, or yeah. Okay, next we're gonna go for audio. Okay, so audio, I would recommend you can use either a headset or this kind of microphone over here. Okay, so let me explain. So I would advise when you're doing live stream, you gotta wear a earpiece or headset on. Okay, the reason why I say this is because most of the time when people are conducting a live stream, they wear this headset because when people are talking in the live stream, right, they don't want the microphone that they have to be picked up by the speaker of the PC. If you do that, then there'll be like an echo, an endless cycle. You get what I mean? So I would advise to wear a headset. Then if the headset has a microphone like this, then it'll be good lah. You don't have to get another microphone like this, but that will be one of the ways. Then the other way is to get a normal headset which doesn't have a microphone. That is just for you to hear. Then for microphone, you get another microphone like this and plug it in to your PC or laptop. Now, next we might be asking, but my PC, the audio only got one hole, one port. How? So this is why you have this audio splitter over here. So if you see an audio splitter, right, what it does is it will take two different jacks inside, and then it will direct into one channel inside the laptop. So as you can see here, the red color one is a microphone. So your microphone, right, this one, you can plug into this one. Then this like earpiece or headset, you can plug into the green one. Then you can plug into your laptop if your laptop don't have the port lah. Okay. And next, this one I really need to emphasize. When you're doing live stream, right, the most stable connection is to use a wired connection lah. So if your laptop or MacBook has the Ethernet port, or I think in MacBook it says, I think MacBook is something different but it's still Ethernet lah. It's not called Ethernet, but it's still Ethernet. So if you're planning to use Wi-Fi for your live stream, I would recommend not to, unless your Wi-Fi is 5G and it's like very fast. But if it's not, then this is really the best way to do it lah. Wired connection, okay? And with that, does anyone here have any questions at all? Is there any parts that you guys don't understand? Is there any things that you wanna like ask? Please feel free.
Rafi raised the hand. Rafi, can you? Yeah.
Hi.
Rafi, yeah, ask your question.
Hi. Thank you for doing this tutorial for us. It's a big help. My question is there a minimum internet speed for the participants? Because we're looking into inviting other people to talk with us during the live stream. So we want to have the best experience also. So what's your recommended internet speed, just so their video is not broken when we have the live stream?
The slowest I would recommend is 250 megabyte per second.
Okay.
Yeah, because I am in our office, we do have internet that is at that speed. I tested it before; it is enough. But I've tested it with even lower speeds of 100, and it's not good. Yeah.
Okay. But The bearable one is 100.
100, you probably will, the video will probably look very pixelated and might break. Yeah,
Okay.
250 at least.
All right.
Yeah. And
Okay.
if your participants are doing from home, right, they should have at least 1 GB lah. That's like standard in every home nowadays.
Right. Correct. Okay. One more question, if it's okay.
Sure.
We want to get your tip on playing a video for the as an introduction. So would you recommend a specific video what do you call this, video player, or how big should the video be for it to play properly?
I would recommend to use VLC when you're sharing to play a video. Okay, because when you're using StreamYard, they usually will share what you are, like how Zoom is when you share screen, right? It'll be the same thing. So the player that you choose will affect what you play lah. Yeah. So VLC will be the one I recommend lah. It works with almost everything. And it's the smoothest one. I always use it all the time.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I got one more question here from Lawrence. If you're live streaming an event at a physical place like auditorium, book panel discussion, and we need an external camera, how can we connect it to? Okay, excellent question. Okay, so if you're using, if you want to use an external camera, how can we connect it to? Okay, very likely if you are at a very a physical place like that, you will be using either a laptop or if you are willing, you can actually carry your desktop PC with your monitor and everything there. Okay, that is if you're really willing, but it has been done before. I've seen people do it. And if you're really gonna use like an actual camera like DSLR, okay, you can't just plug your camera to the PC and expect it to work that way. It doesn't work that way. So if you want to use your actual camera to plug to the PC for it to work, you gotta use something called a capture card. Okay, I have it here. Just grab it home. One moment. Let me go and get it.
Okay, we have a question from Sheikh Said. Will Muse come to our home to do the live streaming or go to Muse office? Whichever way is better. I think if we go over to your place, we have the experience of having the planes flying around, right? So I think it's best. I mean, I would suggest you come over to our office, like what we did before for your Pista Boku.
Okay, so this something like this is a capture card where you have a HDMI here, and then the other side is USB. So that's a capture card lah for you want to connect your camera to a laptop or PC.
What's the minimum frame per second you recommend for a capture card? What would be good for live streaming?
I mean, okay, a capture card is not cheap. A capture card is very expensive unless you're buying one from China like this one. This one only $15. But if you're getting a capture card, it's probably gonna be like a future investment. So get one that can at least go 60 FPS. So I have a more expensive capture card over here. Let me just show you. Why do I have everything? I also don't know. Okay, so if you get something like this one is only able to go 1080p 30 FPS, which 30 FPS you feel a bit it is enough lah. It is enough, but for high quality you can go for something like this. This is an Elgato HD60. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this one can go 60 FPS. This is the plus model, so you can go 4K, but you don't need the plus model if you're just doing 1080p.
Okay, thank you.
Our third section will highlight the differences between two very popular streaming services, Zoom and StreamYard.
Okay, so I have a very short video to actually summarize like what is exactly a StreamYard and Zoom. Okay, like I said, these are all applications that help you to put these things together, the StreamYards together. I mean the live streaming together. So I will just show you. Okay, I will just show you the video. Okay, I'm going to share this, and it's a very short one for you to actually have a rough idea what is a StreamYard or Zoom.
In this video, I will be sharing about Zoom and StreamYard, which one is much more suitable for your business. So there are a lot of streaming apps, website popping up to help businesses to grow during the COVID pandemic. And I believe the use of these streaming apps in running a business will soon become the nature of a business. It will become a part of a business. So if you are not using any of these apps in running your business, you soon will going to run out of business. In this video, I will be talking about two different streaming tools that I use most of the time, which is Zoom and StreamYard. So it really depends on what do you want to do or what is your goal when come into choosing which streaming tool or software that you should be using. So I have been using StreamYard to do all of my live session and interview sessions. And the beauty of StreamYard is that it can post your live video to 5 different destinations at the same time. Over on your StreamYard, you can set the maximum of 5 destinations on live at the same time. For an example, every time when on my live, I will be broadcasting my live to 4 different Facebook group, and on my YouTube channel at the same time. Next, with StreamYard, you can put your own logo on StreamYard. If your live is sponsored by someone, you can put their company logo on your StreamYard as well. And another thing that I love about StreamYard is that you can pick any of the comments on your Facebook or YouTube and answer it on your live. So how it works is that all the comments from Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn will gather on your StreamYard. You get to see it over here on the back end. And the maximum guest for StreamYard is 6 at the moment. You can share your presentation on screen where it is very important, especially if you are explaining important notes or selling your online courses. So this is the most basic level of StreamYard. For Zoom, on the other hand, is more on conducting live classes with a group of people. I have not used Zoom for anything else except meetings and live classes. So Zoom is an amazing video conferencing tool which allows up to 100 participants in the free and pro versions and up to 1,000 on paid versions. You can share your screen and present slides as well with Zoom. However, Zoom currently do not have the function of streaming live at the same time on different social media platforms. In my opinion, StreamYard and Zoom is 2 different platforms for 2 different purposes. StreamYard is good for streaming and live events for interview, live shows, promote courses, while Zoom is more on conducting meetings, online courses with a group of people. So it is really depends on what is your goal.
Okay, so I like to share a bit more. Okay, so I think from the video, you know that, okay, for Zoom, you can actually, it's a private, it can be private or it can be public, but you need to invite, viewers. So that's why we have a link. Like just now, I sent a link to you to come to this private seminars, like I say. But when you comes to StreamYard, the maximum number of people that you can invite is 6 speakers. So that means this 6 person is going to speak during the StreamYard session. That means during the live streaming session. So you do not require to send this. There's no link at all. The link is only for speaker. And then everybody will watch. That means all your viewers will watch your live streaming over YouTube or, over your Facebook. So there's no link for your viewers. Okay, so this one, this part, has to be very, very clear. So if you are doing a Zoom, that means it's usually you can invite up to 100 people to watch, and you still can go on live on YouTube or Facebook. But for StreamYard, you can only invite 6. But of course, StreamYard, why is it highly recommended? Because there is another application called the OBS, which is a more professional application, but it's very, very hard to use. So those are application is like what the TV station is using. So what StreamYard has done was they actually summarize all the features and put it together and make it very, very, very easy to use, which we are going to learn right after that. Okay, right after that, that'll be the last video that we're going to show. So although the two of them, the StreamYard and Zoom, they are very different, but Zoom, you still allowed to go on live streaming.
Next, our fourth section will teach you how to live stream using the Zoom platform.
So how to live stream with Zoom. Okay, so this video, if you need, I can actually send you the link. Okay, it's from YouTube. He actually show you step by step how to do it on Zoom. So it's another skill. I mean, don't mind actually learning it. Yeah, just in case you require a Zoom on Facebook or YouTube.
Zoom, waiting for perfection, never got anything done. You just have to start. Zoom is a fantastic meeting and webinar and conferencing tool that's been out for several years. It lets you host meetings, it lets you have webinars, it lets you use it with like a big conference room, monitor, big, cameras doing this kind of setting. Zoom is really useful. One thing that Zoom can do that a lot of people don't know about is live stream. You can actually live stream your meeting to Facebook, YouTube, Facebook work groups, workplace for Facebook. I don't know anybody that's on Workplace for Facebook, but you can Zoom to it, and even other live streaming platforms. Let's hop over to my machine real quick, and I'll show you how to set that up and actually do it. Okay, let's start off by logging into our Zoom account. So you go to zoom.us, sign into your account, and then that's going to bring you up to your meetings page where you can see your upcoming meetings, previous meetings, the meeting room, all that sort of stuff. Now, what we need to do is go to account management under the admin section on the left-hand side. And then we're going to go down to account settings. And then when that comes up, we're going to go to in meeting advanced. That's going to take us down a good piece. We're going to scroll down just a little bit more. And we have a section that says allow live streaming meetings. So toggle that on, and then choose the options that you want available to you. Do you want to be able to stream to Workplace by Facebook? If your company or your organization is using that, then definitely do that. Otherwise, Facebook, YouTube, you can do a custom live streaming service like Restream or any of the others that are out there. So if you just choose that, then you can give some instructions to the host regarding that. So go ahead and make sure that that is toggled on, and then let's get out of there and bring up Zoom. So we're bringing up the Zoom client. This is the client that you download and install on your desktop or laptop. And we're going to start a meeting. And here it is. There we are, got our meeting going. So now I can go ahead and invite attendees if I need to, copy the URL, and then go over and email it to them, however you invite people. Once that's done, we can do the live stream. So click over here where it says more. Down at the bottom, you got mute and stop video and participants and share and all that, all the way over to the other side. More, the three dots. Click on that. Then you can choose which one you want to go live on. You want to go live on Facebook or Workplace by Facebook. Like I said, if your organization is using Facebook Workplace, that's a great place to do it. Otherwise, live on YouTube. So whichever one, I'm going to go live on Facebook, and it is bringing up here my account, and it says go live on Facebook. Where do you want to post your live video to? So do I want to share on my timeline, friends timeline, share in a group, an event, or share on a page that I manage? So share on a page that you manage. And here's all the different pages that I'm a manager on. And I'm going to go to DCM test, which is my testing page. And I'm going to hit next. And Facebook and Zoom are going to talk to each other for a sec. And here we are with the live stream control room. And you can see we've got our video resolution of 1280 by 720, our bit rate, our frames, audio, all that. We're all set, ready to go. So let's just do a test. Dave's Zoom meeting stream test. So I'm going to call it, and I'm going to hit go live. And the two are talking, and we're getting ready to go live. And now I can go to that page. And then when we bring that up, here is we're getting ready to go live stream. All right, so now what I can do, I'm going to move that over. And what I can do is we can share the screen. Let's do a little test. Okay, so here I am in a meeting. If I had participants, they would be up here on the top of the screen. They're not, because I don't have any participants right now, but I can share my screen and show you how to do something. So let's hit share and I'll choose which one I want to do. But I'm going to choose desktop. It's going to be the one over here on my left screen, Photoshop. And look, here I am in Photoshop, changing things and teaching you how to do something in Photoshop. So that's how you do it. Really cool. Let's take a look and you'll see in just a second, it will show up on our live stream. There we are doing the live stream. Look, here I am in Photoshop changing. So that is how you live stream using Zoom. When you're done, all you got to do is hit where it says end meeting, and that will stop everything.
Lastly, our fifth section will teach you how to live stream using the StreamYard platform.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the StreamYard 101 webinar. I am your webinar host today, Kelsey, and I work in the customer success department of StreamYard. So I am in our live chat and in our contact email inbox and just helping users get the best possible experience with StreamYard that is possible. So every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I host a StreamYard 101 webinar for anyone who wants to get more of an in-depth look and feel of the StreamYard platform. So welcome. A lot of new users join us on the webinars every Thursday, but also, you know, I think there's also some recurring StreamYard users who like to join the community and learn something new maybe, or something they didn't know about StreamYard by joining these webinars. So whoever you are, wherever you fit in, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. Feel free to drop a comment saying where you're tuning in from, because we love to see who's watching from where. StreamYard has a really amazing global community, which wouldn't be possible, I don't think, without this sort of virtual age. So I'm really thankful for that and happy to see everyone here. Hi, James from San Diego. Thanks for joining us. I see Dion. I see from Louisville. Hello, hello. Yes, Dion, we do have an email, contact@streamyard.com. So just if you have any questions or need some help, you can shoot us an email and we'll be happy to get back to you. Shamrika from Dallas, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Oh my gosh. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. So I'm going to give you a little overview of what today is going to look like. We have an hour together. So what the sort of itinerary is I am going to talk a little bit about StreamYard, a little bit about live streaming in general, sort of what's the point of live streaming, why should you live stream. I'll talk a little bit about equipment that is needed or that is preferred to live stream. And then once we do that, we'll actually pop into the StreamYard studio and actually share the screen. And I'm going to bring you through a really hopefully comprehensive demo of the platform. So you'll be able to see all of the features, all of the things that you can do using StreamYard. And I'm going to show you all of my tips and tricks too, in terms of what the best use is for a platform like StreamYard. So following that, that'll take up the majority of our time. I'm really going to be super thorough and bring you through everything you need to know to get started. And then at the end of the hour, I'll leave about 10 to 15 minutes for a dedicated Q&A time. So if you have any questions at the end, we'll have dedicated time. But also, if you have any questions throughout what I'm doing, throughout the demo, feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll try to answer them right away. That's sort of the beauty of this style of webinar is that you guys are all watching on the spot, so you can make a comment and I can see what you're asking and see what I need to clarify and stuff like that. So please do that. If I'm going over something and you're like, whoa, slow down, repeat, just drop that in the comments and I'll make sure to see that, and as well as any questions that you have as I go along. So that's what our day is going to look like. And let's just jump right in. Let's get started. So the first thing I like to talk about is, what is StreamYard? StreamYard is the best way to make live streams. It is the easiest and best way to make professional live streams. And the reason for this is that StreamYard runs in your browser. So it's really easy on your devices and it doesn't take up a lot of space because you don't have to download anything. So it's really versatile. You can use a lot of different devices to run StreamYard. It runs in many different browsers. So you can kind of curate your experience to your preferred computer, your preferred browser, all of that. So it really is the easiest way to make professional live stream content. And you might be thinking, like, what's the point of live streaming in the first place? Like, I can just make other types of video content. Like, what's the draw? And if you are thinking that, that is a great question. Why should you live stream? You should live stream because live streaming is the best form of content marketing. So if you think about content marketing as a concept, it takes a lot of time, right? Like, I always use the example of the traditional YouTuber. So there's a lot of steps from conception or idea of content, right, with a YouTuber, from there to actually posting the video on YouTube. So if you break it down, it's like, okay, so they have to conceive of the idea, then they have to, coordinate and film everything, all of the content. Then they have to take all of that content from their camera, upload it into their editing software. Then they have to splice it together. They have to, add their lower thirds, add their branding, add their sound effects, all of that. Hi, Pam from South Carolina. Welcome. And then once they are done editing it, which takes a lot of time, right? Then they have to download it onto their computer and then finally upload it into YouTube. And then once they're done, they have to keep returning, right, to engage with their audience, because they want to see, like, oh, who's commented on my video, who, has questions or whatever. So they have to keep coming back to it in order to engage with their viewers. So it's a long process, right? But with live streaming, you literally can cut out all of that disjointedness and have everything happen on the spot. So it just makes things a lot easier. You can upload your branding, your logos, your lower thirds, all of your, stuff, your dynamic stuff into your StreamYard studio, so that when you're doing your live content, all of the editing that might happen in post can actually happen while you're live. And the other really cool thing about live streaming is that your viewers are with you on the spot, right? Like, all of you who are in the comments are watching me live. Like, Marcy says she was having issues with sound. She rebooted. She's all good. I have my producer Dana here. We have Debbie from Mesa, Arizona. We're all here at the same time. So that's another added benefit of live streaming, that you can really connect with your community on that sort of extra intimate layer, because you're not having to come back after you post something to be like, oh, someone left a comment a day ago, like let me respond and try to connect with them. It's really cool to be able to know that I have people watching on the spot, like at the same time that I'm actually going live and talking about, whatever I might be talking about in my live stream. So that kind of ties into the engagement piece. Like, it automatically garners more engagement because you are broadcasting at the time that someone's watching. So there's just something very special about that, I think. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about before we jump into the StreamYard studio is the equipment. So I said I would touch on this a little bit. And the reason that I like to touch on the equipment piece is because there is not specific requirements for equipment in order to make really high quality streams. And that's the beauty. That's one of the beauties of StreamYard. So I think a lot of people, I could be wrong, but I think a lot of people might be daunted by the idea of beginning to live stream because they think about like, oh, you know, I watch these YouTubers, I watch these live streamers maybe, and they have just these like amazing setups, you know, like they have these like fancy cameras and like all these like lights and they have like a studio and it just is, it seems so like impossible almost, especially if you're just starting out, right? But what I want to really emphasize that you don't need any of that to get started and to also make your content look really good. You can type StreamYard.com into your browser. As long as your phone or your laptop has a webcam of some sort and a microphone of some sort, you're all set and you're good to go and you can start live streaming and you can really make high quality streams starting with very, very little. So I just like to encourage our new users especially to just get content out there, you know, just get started. And then down the road, if you find if you really want to upgrade your system or you want to add, you know, a fancy camera, an external camera or an external microphone, you can also tie those pieces into StreamYard as well. But StreamYard doesn't, because it's browser based, right? You don't have to download a software. It makes it really easy to use whatever kind of device you have with whatever sort of like camera and microphone situation you have, even if those are built into your computer, right? So I just like to really emphasize that. All right, now that I've gone through all of those pieces, let me know if you have any questions right away, but I think let's just jump into the StreamYard studio and we'll just get started on our screen share. So I'm going to jump into the studio now, and this is the dashboard. So when you log into StreamYard, this is what you see. You see on the left-hand side, you have your broadcast tab, which we'll go to in a second, and you also have your destinations tab. And a destination is what we call a website that you stream to. So this is where you're sending your live content. So we have multiple destinations that StreamYard has direct connections with. So you can actually link your account to StreamYard and then you can send your live streams to those platforms. And those platforms are Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. And then we also have a custom RTMP connector tool. And that is for if you're streaming somewhere that we don't have a direct connection with, such as your own website or Vimeo or Microsoft Teams, you can use that custom RTMP connection tool. So before you start streaming, you want to decide where you want to stream, and then you want to add that account as a destination on StreamYard. So for the purposes of today, we're just going to add a Facebook profile just to show you how it works. So I'm going to click Facebook profile, and then you see here that you can choose the Facebook profile. So this is my producer, Dana. She is running the screen share. So her computer recognizes that she's logged into her Facebook account on that browser. And so StreamYard says, oh, I see that she's logged into her account and there's the profile. So if this is the one that Dana wants, all she has to do is hover over it and click on it to add. Sophia has a great question. Yes. So for LinkedIn, to stream to LinkedIn Live, you need to be approved first. So there's an application process with LinkedIn in order to be approved to stream there. So hopefully Dana can drop the link in the chat for the direct link on how to apply for LinkedIn Live. But yes, you can't stream to LinkedIn until you get that application approved. Oh, Dion says you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I hope that everything's clear. And if it's not, just let me know and I can clarify anything you need. Yeah, so Dana dropped that link in the chat. So feel free to peruse that, how to apply for LinkedIn Live. Okay, so now that Dana chose her Facebook profile as a destination, she comes back to her destinations list and she sees at the top, that's her Facebook profile, and that's the one we just added. So she can see all of the destinations that she has connected to her StreamYard account. And does custom RMP work with Zoom? So that's a question. The connection to Zoom is a little bit, it's not as easy as sort of getting an RMP key from Zoom and plugging them into StreamYard. It's a little more complicated. It involves a virtual camera and an audio mixer in order to connect the two. We do have a very helpful about connecting StreamYard to Zoom, and we can also put that in the chat for you to check out. So, hang on. Now that destination connected, let's go to our broadcast tab on the left-hand side.
Kelsey, your video's kind of cracking up for me. Can you just refresh?
Absolutely. I'll be back.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. I'm producer Dana, just doing the screen share. So where Kelsey was going to take us was the broadcasts tab. I think she's just having some Wi-Fi connection issues, which is a good pro tip that we should talk about, that connecting to Ethernet is always very smart. Plugging your computer in, if possible, to the internet is quite a good idea, especially if you're streaming all the time. You want to have a really solid, stable connection, and you don't need high speeds. You just need, a strong, stable connection. So Kelsey might have had some other tabs running, but we're going to bring her back in as soon as she gets here. So all she did was refresh the stream, and then she can come back. There she is.
Back.
Thank you.
I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not sure what's going on. So hopefully this stays clear.
Cool.
But thank you for letting me know that.
You bet.
Okay, so we're back on the broadcast studio, and this is where you see all of your upcoming podcasts. So Dana has a few here in her StreamYard account that are already created. So she has created studios in advance, and she hasn't gone live in them yet. So then you can see that you have multiple studios sort of prepped that you can use later. Okay, so Student Doctor Network has a great question, and I love to cover this in the live streams, especially just because of it's good that I had Dana here because of my connection. We like to emphasize that it's not necessary to have a producer in with you because of how easy to use the StreamYard platform is. Like, I always emphasize that, like, it's not necessary. Like, you can do everything by yourself, right? But in the event that something happens or your internet goes down or something like that, it can be very helpful to have someone in the studio with you, especially like when we're trying to have this like very professional looking demo and, get you guys the best experience possible. It's really great for us to be able to have two of us in the studio to make sure that we can cover and jump in if something does happen, right? But that being said, it's not necessary, and it is entirely possible and pretty easy to run a stream by yourself. But you do run that risk, right? Of like, if your connection suddenly goes out, it just sort of stalls the broadcast a little bit. And of course, you can rejoin, you can refresh like I just did and pop back in, and it's okay. But I'm glad you brought that up because I do like to touch on that. So it definitely comes down to preference. But in terms of the platform's ease of use, it is not necessary to have two people running everything. But I do like to do it, especially for this webinar where there's a lot of moving pieces. So thanks for bringing that up. All right. So here we are on our broadcast dashboard, and what we're going to do is create a broadcast and then actually enter the broadcast studio so I can show you how we like to set things up and what your options are in terms of your customization in your studio. So to create a broadcast studio, you just click that blue button on the left-hand side, create a broadcast. And then you can choose where you want to stream to. So this goes back to the destination that we just added at the beginning. This is where you see your list of destinations that you can attach to your broadcast studio in order to go live there. So Dana has a bunch of destinations that she has connected to her account. And this is also where the multi-streaming piece comes in. So if you are if you are on one of the upgraded plans, either the basic plan or the professional plan, you have the ability to multi-stream, which means you can stream to multiple social media channels at the same time. You could stream to your Facebook page, your YouTube channel, and your LinkedIn all at the same time, right? So all you have to do in order to accomplish that is to click multiple bubbles to select them, and then all of those become destinations attached to your live stream. So for the purpose of today, we're just going to select Dana's YouTube channel for this broadcast. So she's just going to click to unselect the other bubbles, and she just keeps YouTube highlight, okay? Now she can put in a title and a description for her video. This can be your choice. Then she comes down to the privacy section. And the reason I like to demo the YouTube one is because YouTube has very awesome privacy customization. So you have three: the privacy of your broad public, which means everyone can access it. It shows up on channel. It's searchable in the search box. You can make it unlisted. It doesn't show on your channel. It's not searching YouTube, but it can.
Kelsey, you're breaking up for me again. I don't know if you're breaking up for anyone else, but I just wanted to pop on again because you were breaking up for me.
Yeah.
Can you see that too on your end?
No, thanks so much. I can. Yeah, I can actually see it.
Okay.
Do you want to stay on screen with me, Dana, just in case it breaks up again? We'll just jump right into you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. That's totally fine.
So, all right. So like I was saying, the unlisted privacy means that only the people who are given the direct URL to view the broadcast can view it, which is sort of a fun way to mitigate your audience, right? And keep something semi-private. The last option for YouTube is to just have it be fully private. And this is a great way to test your broadcast because it doesn't get seen by anyone, only you. It's not searchable. It doesn't show up on your channel. It's just for you. So that's a great way if you want to test your stream to do a live stream to YouTube, but have it be private. So the next setup option you have is the scheduling for later box. So you can check the schedule for later box, and what that does is essentially it allows you to create a holding page on YouTube for where your broadcast is going to stream to. And this is really cool for like marketing purposes, because if you have an event that you're scheduling in advance and you want to promote the link, right, for your viewers, like, oh, like on this date at this time, click this link and you can see my stream, right? So this is the way to accomplish that. So you can choose your scheduled start time, and then you can also choose a thumbnail image, which is essentially an image that will go on your YouTube holding page before the broadcast goes live. So Dana has an awesome one that she just selected for this demo, and then she'll choose what time she intends to go live. And this doesn't mean that anything will go live without you actually being there. Like, you're not just setting it up for it to launch on its own. Nothing will go live without you being inside the broadcast studio, without you clicking to go live. So that's just an important distinction. So now that we have that all set up, we can actually click to create the broadcast, and then we'll enter the broadcast studio. Okay, so now that we've created the broadcast, we see it at the top of our upcoming broadcast lists. So now we can click the button on the right that says Enter Broadcast Studio. And this doesn't mean you're going live. This just means that you're entering the studio and you can like set everything up. So it brings you to this page where you can check your camera and your mic. So Dana, obviously her camera is working because we can see her, and her microphone is working because she sees the green bar go up and down when she speaks. And so then she can also choose her display name, whatever she wants to be called. And once she's all set there, she can click to enter the broadcast studio. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you pop into the broadcast studio. You come down, if you can see, Dana's in a little thumbnail image at the bottom. She comes down with her camera and mic, and she's in the backstage area right now. So to add herself to the screen, all she has to do is hover over her thumbnail image with her mouse and click to add herself to the broadcast screen. And there she is. So again, this is not live because if you see in the top right corner of her studio, there's a button that says go live. So Dana is not live yet because she hasn't yet clicked that button. So everything that she's doing within the studio, messing around with her camera, her microphone, adding branding, all of that, no one will see that except for her and of course you guys, because we are sharing the screen. So that's just something. I know some people get a little nervous. They're like, oh my gosh, am I live already? But no, you're not live until you click the go live button. Okay. So the majority of the controls and the branding and the customization, those all live on the right-hand side. So if you see, we have 5 buttons over on the right. And I'm going to take you through like what you can do in each of those like folders, basically. So the first one at the top is the comment section. So this is where all of your live viewer comments from the platforms that you stream to come into the broadcast studio. So for example, I'm seeing a lot of comments here coming into the studio and I'm seeing them in my comment section. So I can click to add them to the screen. Exactly. So Dana has a couple of test comments and she made those on the YouTube side, and those YouTube comments filtered into the studio so she can see them in her comment section. And if she wants to, she can hover her mouse over the comments and click to show them on screen so that she can interact with them. Now, the comments don't automatically show on screen. They just come into the comment section and she can decide whether or not she wants to show those on screen or whether she wants to not show them. So is this meta? Is she inside StreamYard from a StreamYard? Yes, she has multiple broadcast studios open. She's sort of a pro. She's really good at navigating multiple different studios to give this effect of this demo. So props to Dana.
It's also very helpful to have 2 monitors when you're trying to do a stream within a stream.
Yes, Dana has dual monitors, so that helps her. Okay, Dion has a great question. Do the guests need to have an account too, or is it good only to have the host have one? So your guest does not need to have an account. And I'll go through how to invite a guest into the studio. It's really easy. It's like a 1 link click and they just pop in. So they don't have to give any information. They don't have to register. They just join and it's super easy. Sophia says, can we customize the color of comments, banners, etc.? Yes, you can. So that's in the brand tab, which we'll get to in like a couple minutes, but yes, that is coming up. So the comment section, pretty straightforward. All of your viewer comments come in. If you're multi-streaming, you can see who is commenting from where. So if you're streaming both to YouTube and Facebook, you'll be able to see who's commenting from YouTube and who's commenting from Facebook. Because you have the little icon, the YouTube icon or the Facebook icon to accompany that comment. So the next button is the banner tab, and this is where you can customize some lower thirds and add those to your broadcast. So Dana has a lot of banners that she's already added, but to create a new one, you just go to the bottom of your screen and click that create a banner button. And then it gives you this text box. So you can type in whatever you want and then click to add the banner. And then you can click to show that banner on screen. And again, it's the same kind of thing with the comments. Like if you want to display it, you click on it. If you want to remove it, you click on it again to remove it. And the other thing with banners is that you can actually have, there's two styles. So you can either have the banner, which appears as a lower third, or you can have a scroll across the bottom as a ticker if you want as well. And all you have to do is check the scroll across bottom ticker box on your banners tab, click to add that banner, and then it'll actually tick across the bottom of your screen, kind of like they do on the news. So this is a really fun feature if you want to promote a website, or you have like a little piece of information that you want to sort of continuously be displayed during your broadcast in sort of a more subtle way, right? Like it's very small at the bottom. So that's what a lot of people use that for. Do you do one-on-ones for paid accounts? That's a great question. So we don't do one-on-ones at this time. We do have the 24/7 help chat, which I'll also show you how to utilize in case you ever have questions or need assistance. But we have live agents 24 hours a day who have a 30 to 40 second response time. So it's like instant that you get assistance. And then we also have the email, which is contact@streamyard.com. So that is, those are our levels of support. And we also have a producer program if you're looking to hire someone to run your streams. And if you're interested in that, we can drop the link to our producers. They are for hire freelance StreamYard experts that you can hire for your streams if you feel like you need a little added help. Dion says, right now I have a broadcast studio, but I did not go into it. Should I wait to close to 3 to make one? Is it okay to do what I'm doing now? Yeah, it's totally great to make one in advance. In fact, I prefer to make my broadcast studios in advance so that I can set things up. I can choose my brand color. I can send the guest the invite link in advance too, just to prepare. But it's not necessary. You can create it whenever you want. But all broadcast studios will save in your account if you don't go live in them. So it doesn't really matter when you create it because it'll automatically save and you can return to it whenever you're ready. All right. So Cindy, StreamYard posted the producer list. So if you're interested, take a peek at that. Hope that helps. Okay, so moving on. So this goes back to Sophia's comment. In the next button is the brand tab. So inside the brand tab is where the majority of the customization comes in. This is where you can choose your brand color, you can choose your theme, and you can upload all of your graphics. So you can bring in a 6-digit color code if you want to be that specific with your color, or you can just choose from our color wheel. Whatever color you want. And the brand color, it affects the way that the banners display, the comments, and the display names. So it affects how see how Dana's changing it. It affects how the banners look. It also affects how the comments look too, because it shows up with that raspberry color if you change it to that. And then also your display name. Yeah. Cool. So the next thing in the brand tab, if we go back to that, is the theme. So the theme also affects the way in which the banners, display names, and comments display, how they look. There's 4 different themes, that you can choose, and you can change them whenever you'd like. But there's the default theme, which looks like that, the minimal theme, which is a little subtler, bubble, and then block. So each of them has a different feel, a different vibe. And again, that affects the way that the banners look and also the way that the comments look and your display names. So yeah, just take a gander when you're inside the studio next, play around and see what, combination of color and theme you feel fits your brand best. It's really fun to play around, and you can really customize your stream to really feel like you. So the next section in the brand tab is the logos. So if you are on the free plan, you do have to display the StreamYard logo. However, if you are on an upgraded plan, you have the option to take the StreamYard logo off and upload your own logo, your brand logo. So Dana has a few logos that she's uploaded, and you can see how it just sits in the top right corner. And there's also specifications for sizes and stuff in that little question mark on the logo, next to the logo thing, if you can see that, inside your account, it tells you all of the info you need to know about recommended size, etc. So for the logos, it's 200 by 200. But again, that's inside your account, so you can see that anytime. Okay, moving on. The next section in the brand tab is the overlay section. So this is where you can upload graphic overlays to utilize with your broadcast. So an overlay is an image that sits over the screen. So this can either be a transparent overlay, which is what Dana's displaying right now, which basically means that the image is clear, most of it, right? So you can see through her, you can see through it and see her, but it also has like the little live with StreamYard thing, and then the StreamYard live show in the bottom right corner. Or you can opt to, you know, upload a solid graphic overlay. So an overlay photo goes over the whole screen, right? So a lot of people use this for, you know, intro and outro holding cards. You know, if you want to take a break during your stream, but you don't want to end the broadcast, you can just throw up a graphic that says, you know, we'll be back in 15 minutes. Really, whatever you want. That's the beauty of this overlay section. Now, it is important to note that you can't design overlays from the StreamYard studio. These are all, you have to create and design and edit your overlay images outside of StreamYard, and then you can bring those files into your account. So hopefully that makes sense. But that is the overlay section. So then moving on, the next section is the video clips section. And this is very similar to the overlays, except this is videos. So you have the option to upload up to 10 minute clips into your account. Sophia says, can we add a countdown as you just did at the beginning of this webinar? Absolutely. So that's where that would come in. You would create your countdown video outside of StreamYard. Excuse me. And then you would upload it into the video clips section. And then all you have to do to play it is just click to play it. Dion says, let's go to commercial break. Good one. We do not have time for a commercial break, but if you need to, you know, stretch your legs, go grab a coffee, feel free. Okay, so
it's perfect to bring in a commercial clip, you know, like a commercial break, you know, to talk about your sponsor or something like that. That's a great idea.
Absolutely. Totally. No, that is, if that's what you meant, that is a great idea. I thought you were saying we should go to commercial break on this broadcast, which is funny. But yeah, it's a great way if you do have like a sponsor video or something like that, you can upload that into your StreamYard account and click to display it during your live broadcast, right? So there's a lot of different things you can do. And then the video clip that Dana's displaying right now is the countdown timer that is included in all of the StreamYard accounts. So anyone can use this. It comes with your account. So if you don't feel like you want to create your own or like go through the process of editing that, there is one that you can use to just give your stream a little more dynamic, right? A little more oomph, a little more flair, if you will. So that is the video clip section. So moving on, the next section is the background section. So this is basically what sits behind all of your webcam boxes. It doesn't replace your actual background, like it's not a green screen. But if Dana removes herself from the screen, you'll be able to see the background. And the reason you can't see it when she's on screen is because when you're on by yourself, on solo, that you take up the whole screen. For example, if I was to solo screen myself, right, now you can't see any background. But if I go back to the screen share, now you can see we have this dotted background up here. So that's what the background is. It just adds an added layer of like cohesiveness to your broadcast. And you can upload images and click to display them. Sophia says, is there a particular format for overlays? Yeah, so the overlay format is also included in the account, but yeah, it's 1280 by 720. Max file size is 20 megabytes, and then you want to use a PNG or a GIF with a transparent background if you want that. Yes, PNG. Great question. Okay. So moving on, the very, very last thing in the brand tab is you have the ability to remove display names. So everyone automatically comes into the stream with like a name tag, right? But you do not have to show those if you don't want to. If you want just like a really clean broadcast, you can remove the display names, and you do that from within the brand tab. All right. Moving on, I want to get through all of the important stuff before we are out of time, but the last thing, or last important button on the right-hand side is the private chat. And this is basically a direct message section with you and all of your guests who are inside the broadcast studio. So this is not seen by the viewers. This is not seen publicly by anyone, but this is a way for you to communicate with your guests, your fellow guests in the broadcast studio about, your live stream. So if you're already live and, you have people backstage, you're not able to talk to them, right? So this is a great alternative to let your guests know that they are on deck, they are coming up next, to be ready, etc. So the last button on this side is just the settings button. It's pretty straightforward, but this is where you can check your camera, your microphone, make adjustments if you need to. We don't need to go through so much of that. Can we see the settings, Dana?
There we go.
There
It's
we
just
go.
Loading.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, this is basically, where you can see your camera settings, audio settings. This is also where the green screen comes in. If you do have a physical green screen set up behind you, you can utilize that feature and choose an image to replace your background. It doesn't really work for Dana because she has like a inconsistent blue situation happening, but it kind of works, which is sort of fun. But yeah, you need a well-lit physical green or blue screen behind you in order for that feature to work. Okay. Recommended software to make a custom countdown video. So I use canva.com. I use Canva for both my graphic creation, and you can also edit and create videos on Canva as well. Canva, canva.com. It's a great tool. You can also create videos on, like I use iMovie. There's a browser-based program called clipchamp.com that you can use. But it just depends on your preference. Also, like Adobe Premiere is like a little more advanced if you want to use that. Okay. Yeah, so let's exit out of the settings now, and we'll move on to the bottom. So now there's a few more buttons, if you can see at the bottom of the broadcast studio, and there's a couple really important ones that I want to go over with you guys. So obviously there's the mute and unmute button, the stop cam. You can turn your camera off when you're in the studio. So those buttons live at the bottom there. The settings button also lives at the bottom. It's the same settings we just went through. There's just two ways to access it. And then the fourth button from the left is the share button. So this is where you can either share your screen, which means you can share like a PowerPoint or a presentation of some sort, or you can share a video file. Now, the video file section is really helpful because it allows you to share a pre-recorded video of any length and any size. Whereas the pre-recorded video feature that we went over in the brand tab, those are limited to short videos that are 10 minutes or less in length. But the video file share feature allows you to share video files directly from your computer that are any length. So this is great if you have like an hour-long thing you need to share, or you have like, you want to screen a movie or something. That's what a lot of people use this feature for. And then of course, once you do queue up your video, you have options of layouts. So Dana's kind of playing around with the visuals. She's changing the background. She is full screening the video, and then she's making herself bigger. And so there's a bunch of things you can play around with to give your stream different looks and different feels. So that's the video share feature. The other really cool thing about the video share feature is that you can stop and start the video at any time. You can also like scrub through it. So you can pause and play, which is really great. You can scrub through, and then you can also change the volume of it while you're live, which is really helpful. So we're very excited about that feature. It's been out for a couple months and we love it. Okay, So the next really important one is the button that's right next to the share button at the bottom, which is the invite button. So this is where you go to invite your guest. So if you click invite, it brings up this link, and you want to just copy that guest invite link and send it to your guest in whatever format you want to reach them. It could be email, text, whatever. Just copy that one link. That's all you need. Send it to your guest, and then all they have to do is click the link, and then they join the broadcast studio. It's a very easy process. So in a second here, you'll see Dana pop into the bottom. There she is as a guest. So she's simulating this. But when your guest comes into the studio, they pop down as a little thumbnail, just like you did when you first entered. And then all you have to do is click on them to add them to the stream. So now once you have the guest up, you can kind of play around with your backgrounds, your, overlays, your layouts. I mean, there's so much that's happening. It might look kind of overwhelming, but Dana's just playing around with all of the different features right now. She's just sort of clicking to show you all of the things you can do and all of the ways that your broadcast can look on StreamYard, depending on how you customize it. She is the host. She is the guest. Did I miss a question? Sophia, can we switch at any time layouts? Yes, so you can switch at any time. That's what Dana's doing right now, is she's just clicking one of the 7 layouts right underneath her screen there. And you can do it at any time. You can do it while you're live, and that's how you do it. You click to display. And then you can also click and drag to switch the positioning of the speakers on screen. So if you want someone else in the big box and you want yourself in the little box, you just like click on their video. It's just so many Danas. I know. Sophia says, thanks. You're so welcome. Okay. Cool. So now that we have the guest in the studio, I think we're ready to go live. So once you're ready, you just go up to the top right corner and click that go live button. It'll say, are you ready? And we'll just say yes. So then once you're live, you'll see a big button in the middle that says you are live. And you also see this timer here, the red timer at the top left corner that shows you that you are live, you're on the air, and how long you've been live. So that's very helpful to like keep yourself on track. I'm seeing myself and I'm like trying to get through the important info because I'm going kind of slow. So that's a really helpful timer to have. And then you can also see how many people are watching your broadcast. So that's the eyeball thing that you see in the top left corner. Only you can see this, by the way. Your viewers don't see this. You just see it in the broadcast studio. You can see how many people are watching. So obviously 0 people are watching Dana because she made it a private stream and she didn't promote it at all. But now that she's live, she can change banners, she can add banners, she can, change the layout. She can do everything that we just went through while she's live. And so that is kind of the beauty of StreamYard. Like I was talking about at the very beginning, you cut out a lot of the editing time that you would spend after the stream by being able to do all of this on the spot, right? So it might seem a little complicated, but like, once you set everything up in advance, you can add your brand color in advance. You can upload your overlays in advance. Then once you go live, it's just a matter of like clicking things to display them, and really having fun with it. Okay, so now that we're live, we can end the broadcast. So once you're done, you go back up to the right-hand corner, click end broadcast, say goodbye to your audience. And then you get this feedback page and you can choose to give some feedback. Awesome. So then once you're done, you're still in the broadcast studio. And so there's 2 more things I want to go over before we go into our Q&A. So at the top right corner, you have a links button. So Dana, click the links button. It brings you down this drop-down menu, which gives you 2 options. So you can view it on YouTube. So you can actually click to navigate to YouTube to see your live broadcast, what you just did, which is really cool if you want to like review your performance. Or you can download your recording. Now, downloading is only a feature on either of the paid plans. If you are on a free plan, you cannot download your recording. But if you're on one of the upgraded plans, you have the option to either download your video recording, your audio recording, or if you're on the pro plan, you can download your individual audio recordings. So some people like to have individual audio tracks from each of their guests. And so if you want that, you can have that on the Pro plan. So Sophia, great question. You can have up to 6 people on screen at a time in the free plan, and you can have 10 of them in the broadcast studio. So 10 total, right? And then 6 of those on screen at a time. And then you can switch out whoever you want to switch out. Then on the basic plan, you can have 10 in the studio and all 10 can be on screen. And then in the Pro plan, you can actually have 12 in the studio, but 10 of those 12 can be on at any given time. And then again, you can switch them out. For showing printed materials, is mirroring involved? Yes. Yes. You don't have to worry about showing off. Yeah.
Exactly.
I always know what the term mirroring means, but yes, it does mirror so that your audience sees it correctly.
Exactly. Yeah. So for people that don't know what Pam's asking, she's asking if you have something printed like text on your background, you know, like a sign in your background. If you were on Zoom, it would be like backwards sometimes unless you mirrored it the proper way. On StreamYard, we took that into consideration. So it'll always say, like if I wrote StreamYard on a chalkboard behind me, it would say StreamYard for my audience. It wouldn't be backwards. Great question.
Yes. Yeah. Same with like any like overlays and branding that you show. It's of course going to show correctly. Okay. Yes, 10 on the paid plan, Liz, and up to 12 in the broadcast studio on the Pro plan, which is cool. Debbie, yes, we will be sending you the view link for this webinar so you can come back to it if you missed the beginning. That'll come to your email after we're done. Okay, so you can choose to download your recording. Whatever you want to do. StreamYard saves your recordings for 15 days. Okay. So if it's important, download it right away because there's been a lot of sad people who have their recordings have gotten wiped from the server because we don't have the capacity to store them past the 15-day mark, unfortunately. And so once they're gone, they're gone. So you really want to make sure you download it within that 15-day period. Okay. Last thing is I want to go through how easy it is to access our live chat, our live like agents if you need support. So at the bottom of your screen, there's a having issues button. And this is in the broadcast studio. This is also like in your StreamYard account as well. But within the broadcast studio, just click that button and it brings you to a little help button on the right. So just click the help button and then you can type in your sort of request. It gives you a bunch of results so you can click through like if you need we have a lot of help articles that help a lot of people. So it gives that first. Then you can click the live chat button, okay? Type in your message. And once you start the chat, you're put in a queue and pretty instantly one of our agents will join. See, just like that, Jared joins. There we go. So then you can type out whatever issue you have and they will on the spot help you with it. Our response time is crazy good. This is something I'm really proud of. I work in the support chat. I'm really proud of it. We have 24 hours a day agents working who really have a comprehensive understanding of the platform and are very, very helpful.
And one thing that's just fun to note is that this wasn't like a staged message. Like they didn't know we were coming into the live chat during the webinar live.
That's right. That's right. This is just how they are. So it's really, really great. I mean,
yeah,
we hold ourselves to a high standard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then Jared will come with a suggestion, hopefully for us, for our hypothetical camera not working.
Nice.
Yes. Perfect. So then you can kind of just troubleshoot with the agent, right? Like if that's not what your issue is, you can specify for them and just create this dialogue until you do get it sorted. Perfect. So yeah, I just want to, I like to emphasize the ease of use. I know I talked about this a little bit before, but this is part of that, right? Like we really want to make ourselves accessible to our users. And part of that is the live chat that we work really hard to just like have a standard of excellence in terms of our customer service. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. And if you do ever get overwhelmed or you get lost or something, you get stuck when you're live, you can instantly reach us and we're there for you to hold your hand and help you through whatever issue you're having because tech issues can be really overwhelming. Okay, Student Doctor Network has a great question. Let's move into the live Q&A. That's kind of where we're going anyway. We have about 7 minutes to do that. So is there any way to test streaming to Facebook like you were able to on YouTube? Kind of, but it's not as easy. I will say that. It's a lot easier to test on YouTube. On Facebook, there is a setting that's called Only Me that you can change your broadcasts to, but it's sort of like complicated to get there. You have to do it in your Facebook settings and then stream, and then you have to remember, like, if you want to make it public again, to go back to your Facebook settings and like fix it. So I really don't recommend that, honestly, but it is possible. You can also create like a private page. That's what I do on Facebook. I have like a page that I have, it's called like my test page, and I stream there sometimes and no one knows about it. No one can see it. So that's also a great way to do that. Sophia says, quick question. We are several admins on our LinkedIn page. Do we need to pick only one email account to link it with our LinkedIn destination? No. So as long as you are an admin of the LinkedIn page, you can add it to StreamYard. So if all of your admins had StreamYard accounts, they could all add that LinkedIn page to their account in order to stream there. So I hope that answers your question. As long as you're an admin, you have access. Is there a possibility of breakout rooms for conversations with different speakers? That's a great question. We don't have breakout room capabilities at this moment. However, there is sort of a workaround that some people use, is that you're able to have multiple broadcast studios created at the same time, right? Like I showed you that earlier, where if you don't go live somewhere, it just saves. So you could essentially have multiple broadcast studios where you house multiple people, right? So you could have like one broadcast studio and you send them that guest invite link. And then there's another with another 5 people and you send them that guest invite link. So there is a way to do that. It's just not as automatic as it is on other platforms. Dana, did you have something to say about that?
No, just wanted to come on screen.
Cute. Ranger Jack, what's up? How please do you create like the We Go Live in 15 minutes, just like you did before this webinar, so guests can get ready and know they are where they need to be on YouTube? Dana, do you know what he's referring to exactly?
So I think we might be getting confused between what we call guests and what we call viewers. So the viewers are the people who are always on YouTube. So you are all watching our webinar on YouTube. So you're our viewer. Now, how do you create the We Go Live in 15 minutes? All you have to do is create your broadcast and then schedule it 15 minutes ahead of time. And then there's going to be a post on YouTube made, which we walked through. And if you guys came to this link prior to the webinar, you would have seen our Kelsey is going to go live in 3 days or whenever, today on Thursday.
Or 15 minutes, right?
Or 15 minutes if you came 15 minutes early. So that's how you get the post. But your guests don't go to that link. That's just something important.
Correct.
To
know. The guest goes to the broadcast studio invite link.
Exactly. So you have to click invite inside your studio to give the guest link. And then the difference between the guests and the viewers, really quick, is guests are going to be on screen. So me and Kelsey, I'm Kelsey's guest, but you're my viewer, Ranger Jack. You're not my guest because you're not on screen with me. Hope that helps.
Yeah, that was great, Dana. Thank you. Okay, dokie. Cash Sharing Economy says that is amazing live support. I agree. Thank you for saying that. I really like to emphasize that because I really do, like, I'm such a firm believer in like accessibility within a platform, and it's so rare to find. Like these contact pages for like different platforms are impossible. So thank you. Okie dokie. Yeah, so Dion, if you sent the link already to your guests, you are all good. All they have to do is click the link, and once you see them in your broadcast studio, you can bring them on screen and you can go live. All right, so we have just like another minute before we go off the air today, but drop any final questions you have. If I missed something, please drop it back at the bottom and I will try and answer it. But I think I did most of it. Going once. Going twice. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Okay, we do have one last question. What's the pricing? So there are 3 tiers. There's the free plan, which is obviously free. There's the basic plan, which is $25 a month. Then the professional plan is our top tier, and that is $49 a month. And these are recurring subscriptions. So if you only want to take it for a month, just make sure to cancel your plan before it auto renews. And then there's also annual plans, and that allows you to save a bit of money. So you save about $5 to $10 a month if you go annual. So if you're interested in that, we also have annual plans where you pay 12 months up front. We do have demos. Michelle, specifically LinkedIn Live demos. Dana, do we have a LinkedIn Live demo? I think we do.
Do we? We might. Like how to connect your LinkedIn Live to StreamYard?
Yeah, we definitely have resources for that. We can post them in the chat here for you, Michelle.
Perfect.
Okay, and with that, we are going off the air. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. I hope this was informative. I hope it was helpful. And if you ever have any questions, again, hit up the live chat, streamyard.com/contact. And you can either email us or you can pop into that live chat. That's where I work. So if you do have any final questions that I didn't get to, I'm going straight into that live chat. So you can come in and ask for me if you want. And we can start that dialogue and I can help answer any final questions. So thanks again for being here. Happy streaming. And we are so glad to have you as a part of the StreamYard community. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Hello, I hope everybody is still around. Okay, basically, this is actually a very long video. I know it's quite dry, but I find that actually gave you a very clear explanation of how this StreamYard is working, and it actually give you the step by step, and this video actually explain all the function. So if you actually compare Zoom and StreamYard, I think if you want a professional look, definitely a StreamYard will be a better choice. And you can actually try it out free. Okay, you try it out first. And if you have any other problem, I'm also working on this platform. So if you have any other problem, feel free to maybe contact me, or maybe you can even actually go online with this platform and then just ask the question and they will just help you. Like I said, their support is actually very strong. They can actually instantly, help you out if you have a problems. Yeah, but like I say, everything you go with practice. You practice a lot more, then of course your StreamYard skill will be good and you will look much more professional.
We have reached the end of this training program. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have benefited from this. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the bell to stay up to date with our future training programs and webinars.